Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Right, welcome to this demo video for the project layout schedule. What is a project layout schedule? Very simple. We make some fairly complicated project management software, but this is very, very straightforward. Whether you're looking at different projects as an overall as a company, or whether you're looking at different tasks or sections to be performed within one project, that's up to you. But what this will do is you'll be able to put in some dates of all the different tasks or projects, and it'll lay it all out nicely on a Gantt chart for you. So how do we start? First thing, project types. I put it on as project types, but obviously if you're dealing with one overall project and you want different tasks, then just break the tasks down into different task types. All this does is it will put it on the Gantt chart in the color next alongside each word. So if you select a project or a task as a type 1, or whatever you want to call it, you can type over this and rename these. As long as you don't have any duplicates, anything that you select as a type 1 will be red, type 2 orange, so on and so forth. So you can fill in either your project types or your task types depending on how you're working this. Once you've done that, you're all set up. Then all it is a project details. So everything, each project, I've labeled as project, but again, if you're doing an overall project with different tasks, these can be all the different tasks, so you can name them, give them a description there, select which type they are, and as you can see, it changes color straight away, depending on which one you select, and then put in the start date and the finish date. You don't have to type it in as I've got it here. You can just put there 1st of Feb, for example, and it'll change it to the correct format. So put the start date, put your finish date. When you say the finish date, it's actually the not the actual completed date. Here's the actual completed date, but that's what you're scheduling. So you're scheduling it to start, scheduling it to finish, and then select weekends or bank holidays. Now, if you want it to show on the chart, in other words, if you want this task to run through weekends and bank holidays, then you check them. If you want to run through weekends, check it. Run through bank holidays, check it. If you want it to stop and not show on weekends and bank holidays, then just leave those two unchecked. In order to check it, you just select it and select the check mark from the drop-down list, or in fact, just backspace and remove it if you don't want it. As you can see, the percentage changes because it's adding those days into the equations. Then when you've got when that task or project is complete, just simply put in the completion date, and this will change. All the percentage won't necessarily change, but it'll change from an open job to a closed job, and it'll show differently on the chart. I'll show you that in a second. This just gives you a percentage of time that you've either used. So these ones here that are finished show the percentage of time between the start date and the completed date. These ones here that aren't complete yet are showing the current percentage used from the start date to the proposed finish date. So you can see this one, for example, has gone over time. This is the monthly overview, which generates automatically. It is basically just a Gantt chart. As you can see, the weekends in yellow, weekdays in blue, todays in red. I can't actually remember what color I had. A bank holiday, either purple or grey, I think, were a bank holiday we turned out. But you'll see when it happens. The jobs that are complete, you can see have been ticked off as being done, and those ones actually turn grey on the Gantt chart. All the other ones are in the color that you selected for that particular project or task. The other cool thing about this is if you this is obviously in March, you can see here we're coming to the end of the project. Let's just say you want to see what happened in February. You can enter any date in February. So if you enter, for argument's sake, 10th of Feb, it'll change the date. 10th goes as today, and it'll show you February's Gantt chart. So you can, at the beginning of a project, if you've got a 6-month Gantt chart, you can save each one as a PDF month by month, so you can send it to the client or whatever to show them what it is that you're going to be doing, how it is that you're going to be progressing with their project. And as I said, as they get ticked off, they turn grey. Otherwise, they stay at their color. And you can literally go back and select any date you want, and it'll change it. If you leave that blank, it'll show today's date over here as in as the current date on the chart. You can come back here and edit any time you want, and it'll change according to the chart. I think that is all that we need to show you on this. So I wish you all the best for your projects in the future. Thank you and goodbye.